We are moving into losers finals, boys and girls. We have a 2-0 victory for Extermination, and they are meeting the Cinderella story of this tournament, Kairos, who took it over the #1 seed in this tournament, set to destroy. We're going to see them face off, and the winner will earn the right to meet Silver Sanction Saikai in grand finals in the best of 7 set. And whoever wins this match has to beat them 8 times. What? I know, Cat. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I said 8 times. My own cat can't believe. Like, what? I know, it's crazy, right?
I mean, the way these 3 teams, like, this is definitely the best 3 teams of the tournament right now. I know that's kind of like, yeah, they're top 3, so obviously they are, but Silver Sanction has been amazing this tournament. Kairos has definitely convinced, like, there's no doubt that they've earned their place here. Extermination, sick defense on both games. Like, these 3 teams are currently easily the best 3 teams in this tournament. I don't think it could have gone any other way. Like, these guys have shown their stuff, and now it's up to Kairos to see if they can find a crack in Extermination's armor now, because
you can't find a crack. The crack is left in Splatoon 1. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
Hey, it's true. It is true. That's how it's how Extermination used to get opened up, is with Krakens. So I mean but I mean these guys have been playing so damn well, and I'm really looking forward to see what Kairos can pull up against them. Like, Extermination, Calgary's been on fire. Like, the Lunar Blaster buff, both with the Baller and the Lunar Blaster buff from the previous patch.
Yes.
Like, he's been loving that. We've got some sick aggressive players as well. Like, you guys don't really get to see much of like Savage and Echo, because you know they don't really tend to be featured as much as Kagu, because Kagu's a bit more well known. But these guys are also incredibly skilled aggressive players. So like, them coming up against the heavy Splatling Gamer and the roller skills of Redvec, like, that's going to be quite interesting to see, because these are very defensive weapons coming up against Extermination as well.
Give me 1 second. I am providing a tweet. I gotta bring as many people in here. They can't miss out. They can't get out. I want to get this to 1,000 viewers. So if you guys could, please share this out with your friends. Include the hashtag Splatoon2. Bring your friends in. Tweet it at your cousins. Tweet it at your extended family. Go to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Invite his Oompa Loompas to come through as well. It is going to be a hype one, as we have a best of 5 match versus Kairos and Extermination. And the first match is going to be Rainmaker, Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yeah, we've got, it's losers bracket final action, and starting out on Sturgeon Rainmaker. This is a fantastic map. I absolutely love this map for Rainmaker, because it's one of the maps that has so many options that are open to you. You can go pretty much any direction, and you'll be able to find some way. Like, you can go to the left, you can go through the mid, go up on the sponge, you can go through the right. There's always, like, there's reasons for each of them. And on top of that, I think this is a really, really good test, because both team comps, the heavy-based team comp that Kairos runs and the sort of hyper-aggro short-range comp that Extermination runs, both of them have their strong points here. So which team can leverage those strong points the best is going to be really, really clear on Sturgeon Shipyard.
As you said, there are so many points that are cutting around here. You have that box shortcut over to the left. You have the wall shortcut over to the right. And if you're feeling really dangerous, you can take the ramp up the middle, or something that a lot of people don't take advantage of often. You could actually use the sponge box. I'm not sure what it's called, but the big sponge. You can sponge that up and just jump over to that ledge. And that's also a pretty decent boost, although it's a lot more risky and more in the open. So it's a lot not preferred as your main mode of transportation, but it is an option. There are many ways, many walls, and again, a very wide open stage. So a lot of weapons, a plethora of weapons, have a lot of use on this map mode and gameplay. So it's going to be exciting to see what they choose as their team comp, whether they're going to go with their strength or whether they're going to tailor their weapons for the map and combination, whether we're going to see a curling bomb, whether they see a splashdown to damage the wall, whether they're going to be seeing a charger to put pressure on them on their ledges. There's so many options.
Absolutely. And I mean, on top of that, you're going to be seeing, I mean, you said the curling bombs. That might actually be the big thing to look for, because one of the big things with curling bomb is that the enemy team can't stop the curling bomb from painting, right? So I think you guys might have pointed it out on, I think it was the Creme Fraiche game, was the one where someone was using an L3. But when you put a curling bomb out, it's guaranteed to paint. Like, you can't, it's not like a sprinkler where the enemy team can shoot it. So, like, you can get a path down, you can get a ton of special out of those things. It's kind of surprising just how much paint those things put down toward a special of some kind. And those kinds of things are the kinds of things that on Rainmaker are incredibly important, because, like, if you get a curling bomb that's uncontested and you just, like, grab the Rainmaker and go, a lot of the time that will get you, like, 50 points, you know? So, yeah, like, that's something to really look out for. And I think, because Red Back obviously using the splat roll with the curling bombs, that's going to be potentially one of the ways they might take an early lead here.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong option they could have. I personally don't recommend it. Like, I would, what is it? Personally, I would always...
Oh yeah, it's risky. It's risky.
I would always use the Emperor Dualies because it's literally the same special and sub, but the main weapon is a lot more efficient, and the Dualies, allows you a lot more mobility in a close range situation. So personally, that's my suggestion. But, I mean... Again, if you feel like you are strong enough, Red, you have been rocking out with that roller this entire time. Far be it from me to tell you or suggest anything to you. You do what you got to do, buddy. And you just look at me and like tell me to sit on commentary, and I'll say okay.
But don't sell yourself too short now.
But I'm alright, not that short, but still. But moving on beyond that, if we do continue, well, we will continue on. We're gonna have at least 3 games. So the next one will be Splat Zones Moray Towers, followed by Tower Control on Port Mackerel. Both of these we have seen already in the tournaments. Moray Towers being a game where the splat zones, because there are 2 zones that are really close to each other and easily covered by somebody else in a safe position quickly. You see those zones change hands quickly, and the only way to really keep control of that is if not only you push them, like you get control of it, but you push them back up those walls. You take their point that the charger normally takes at the base of Moray Towers. If you don't do that, then we're going to see a lot of exchanges on Moray Towers from my position.
Yeah, the funny thing, because I think a lot of people kind of get a bit confused about the 2-zone maps, because on both Moray and Manta Maria, the zones are like really close together. It may as well just be one zone. But the big thing with those 2-zone maps is it's really, really easy to just stop the count, right? Because you only need to like paint half of one zone. Exactly. It's like only having to paint a quarter of a normal zone, you know? And on Moray zones, it's really easy to just like take one part of the map and just use that to neutralize the zone and then push around. It's the same thing on Manta Maria, where you can just push in on the right side of the map, and it's like really easy to get in there. And then you got plenty of like you can just stand there and just paint the zone for a bit, and you'll neutralize the count. It's really effective. So, but with Moray Towers, what you're going to be really looking for is the sort of spawn camp kind of thing going on, where either both Kairos and Extermination will try for it, is they'll try to get onto the enemy team's sort of upper area and just sort of basically leave the zone almost unwatched and just have all 4 people just sitting up in the high ground, preventing Kairos or Extermination, whoever's on the receiving end, from even getting a look at the zone, let alone any kind of paint on it.
Exactly, and that's why I really do hope that a weapon like the Custom Splattershot Jr., which was just released yesterday, but is really good for something like this, because the auto bomb can catch anybody who's trying to cover up one zone, and has a pretty good splash radius as well as being able to cover quickly turf quickly itself with the Splattershot Jr. and the special, the Ink Storm. If you have special charge up you are covering up both turrets quickly. So basically, you'll be able to worm your way in between two zones, cover up and protect zones at the same time as covering up another zone. It's just a lot of ink efficiency, I think and believe the custom Splattershot Jr. would have on the Moray Tower splat zones. However, I understand that teams may not be employing that because the weapon just came out yesterday. You may not have had enough time to really see how that thing work out. And you know what? Better go for what you know than what you think might work. You don't want to test anything during losers finals.
Yeah, I think there's another element to that, which is that the custom Splattershot Jr. was like a contender for one of the worst weapons in the previous game, so it's still, like, people are still sort of, you know, scratching their heads. Is it actually going to be any good? Is it, you know? So, like, obviously the kit's changed completely, but it's still, you know, it's still a junior, it's still the custom Splattershot Jr. that nobody ever used, even when they were being funny. But, yeah, it's, like, I actually do think it can work on Moray, because on Moray, it's kind of a map of extremes. Like, in Splatoon 1, everyone complained about E-Litters on Moray Towers, but at the same time, the really short-range stuff actually worked really well as well, because once you got into the enemy team's base, as I was saying, the angles there aren't exactly very long. You can basically just chill, like, in the middle of a bridge or something, and the options that the enemy team has to try and take you out are so limited that it doesn't matter that you don't have much range, you know? And on top of that, you're really quick to just move up through the map because of how fast you paint.
Exactly, and that's the main thing about that, is that this custom Splattershot Jr. or the Splattershot Jr. Actually, all of the short range weapons, a lot of people don't know that, but the short range weapons, they sputter ink out so wide that it covers up a lot of range quickly. You could just move in a small area pretty quickly. So, you know, the arrow sprays, they do the same thing. The Splattershot Juniors, the NZAP, they all have that quality of covering up a lot of ink quickly in a small area. So in the terms of Moray Towers, it might be one of the top weapons you could use, but we'll have to see how the meta changes out. I'm sure we'll see it at the Squidboards Splat Series 2 happening next month. But after that, we will be having Game 3 no matter what. Tower control on Port Mackerel. We saw this one earlier where it can be a blowout. It all depends on how the teams play, because you have two very tough scenarios you got to run through. You have to get out of that center area, like past the blocks on the end, out the center. You have to get past that into your enemy's open area. After that, the open area is pretty easy because you can see where everyone is at. You can see where people are trying to approach from. But then once you get to that second checkpoint, that's where it's very tough to hold it down, because you could see a Stingray come out. You could see anything that really just holds down and targets that tower. And not only that, but bomb rushes could really do a lot of damage in that area. Suction bombs, you don't even need to do a bomb rush. Just one suction bomb and a bucket can really hold down that tower. So it's going to be tough really worm your way out of that center, but once you do, you should have a clean path to victory.
Yeah, because you've got it pretty well nailed there, but the thing is, when you push through the courtyard area, yeah, you need your long range and your bomb rushes and whatnot to sort of clear the area and just make it sort of your color. But then once you get into the sort of maze area toward the goal, it becomes basically short range heaven, right? Like, you're going to be having Lunar Blasters and Meteor just like hop up and sort of pre-fire around corners and that sort of thing. Oh, we're finally getting into the game. We were waiting on a player from Kairos there, I believe, for a lot of that. Sorry for the delay, but
no. I was
on the phone
discussing all the possibilities, but right now we get to see some action. Here we go. We are in the losers finals, game 1 of 5, potentially 5. Extermination versus Kairos, and we have we have Red going to an Octobrush from a Vola. This is the first time we've seen him run this in this tournament. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it looks as though they have actually subbed Gamer out. I think Gamer was the guy we were waiting on, and I'm pretty sure that is not Gamer. So we do have a sub coming in, so we aren't going to be seeing the heavy splatling like we were sort of hoping to. At the same time, though, Extermination's already got a quick advantage here, going up 4 versus 2. They've got the Rainmaker and they're going right side. Let's see what happens. Yeah,
they have two options right here. They can go to the ramp, or they can take the wall option. They're trying to fight somebody who had a burst bomb, but instead, I don't know if the burst bomb was a rapid blast, so I saw explosions, and they weren't able to put it, but they do take it to 75 points, and Echo does snatch it. They go up the ramp. Oh, all right. Well, shout-outs to Red with the ink from above. I love that. And a quick ink jet to put pressure on him, catch him in the corner, but loses to the Lunar Blaster? What?
Oh, this could be it. It's a
Yeah,
full life and they're pushing.
This is 3-1, but one person is keeping him down, and that was such a great hustle right there. He definitely had to do it for his team because the rest of them were down, but unfortunately for him, he had nobody else of Extermination to really defend him. But I'm still shocked on the fact that Kaiju was able to really get that KO on the Inkjet that high with a Lunar Blaster. Like, I understand if the explosion rate is big, but the range itself is short. I'm a little flabbergasted, to be honest.
Yeah, Luna has deceptive range, that's for sure. It could have been that, like, he dropped down, maybe, or something like that. Not to really say, but... Oh, another full wipe here, though, for Extermination. They're pushing in really aggressively. Getting caught on the sponge, though, a bit unfortunate, but looks like they're going to be seeing... Oh, not quite. They got shut down by the Tri-Slosher there.
Oh, that's not what you want to be seen on stream. Well, he does end up getting caught right there as Banana is trying to clean up that new turf. A lot of players don't know this, but if you cover up some new turf, you get a lot more special points than before. I don't know why I was playing, but I like it. So, I mean, he's going for that new turf just to get his special charge up. Banana is sitting there, throwing the suction bomb to make sure they have nowhere to go. The Rainmaker does get reset, which is a blessing for Kairos, and they have to take his advantage to do it now. But, I mean, not with Raziel getting caught like that, and not with Banana getting caught like that, or they're going to be able to return his push. Charger smacks the Slosher in the face, and now Echo is putting a lot of pressure, catching Red from the edge. This is a 4v1 scenario. There's no reason why they should not make a huge push right there. We have it grabbed by somebody, and Echo is now charging. Oh, somebody got him. Oh, that was nice.
Raziel got up close. He must have been sitting there waiting, and that's, I think Nine said it a while back on the stream, but 4v0 is a lot different to 4v1. That one person, especially on Rainmaker, can be just sitting right there in the perfect position to stop the Rainmaker push. And actually, this could be Kairos' opportunity.
Exactly. That one person, I mean, it saved them from getting a full wipeout. If he wasn't there, it would have been it. But right now, we have them pushing forward. Echo really utilizing that charger to try and make a line of ink and getting a quick snipe on Raziel right there. Very nice play by him. And now with that suction bomb ready, almost getting the KO on the Rapid Blaster to the left, but still is going to throw out his special charger, and he has the ink armor. The bombs are flying. The ink is exploding. The Kairos is being pushed back into their own base, and Raziel is getting thrown back to his spawn point. Right now, Extermination living up to their own name and making... What? How did he even see that one? No, wait. Okay, someone nerf Echo. Nerf the charger. I don't know. Someone help me. This is too much. This man is just getting KOs on KOs. Both with the bomb, putting pressure on the opponent. He's a one-man army, one Inkling army right now, putting a lot of pressure and doing a lot of work for his team. Yo, those exterminations are going to echo through our world.
This is what happens when you've got a team as aggressive as Extermination can be, with a charger on the backline. When there's so much turf control for Extermination, all of Echo's shots are super easy because he can see everyone coming a mile away. All he has to do is just find a nice perch somewhere, as he's been doing, and pitch a tent. Like, that's what he's been doing this whole game. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 20 kills next to his name at the end of this.
Exactly. Echo right now is being an amazing point guard, literally taking a point, and you know this information that he sees, he is pointing out to everybody. And I bet you it's as casual as, alright, Kaji, alright, took out the Slosher. Alright, Inkjet on the right. Oh, got another KO. Alright, suction bomb going out. Alright, I need you guys to go to the left. There's a suction bomb going, somebody jumping in. I got him with the suction bomb. Okay, they're missing it again. Like, this is him right now. This is all, he's so casual about it, and yet, to us, he is playing like a god, getting these KOs amazingly. But Jeremy, not to be outdone, and actually, I just noticed that for the first time in this game, they are making a push. We have a 4v3 scenario. We are in overtime. They cannot lose this at all. It is GG, and they are carrying him. The Charger trying to get him. Echo being the clutch, getting the last point.
Of course, it was Echo.
I am Echo. Echo. Just say his name. Not only.
Say it 3 times.
Say it 3 times and echo it 10, because it is just Echo. Literally, those KOs, that ping you hear when you get a charge shot, 16 splats on
There
Echo.
it is, 16.
That is unbelievable.
It had to be Echo. It just had to be Echo. There's no way. Like, that was actually really, really dangerous if he missed that shot, but Echo's on point. I mean, what can you say? He's hitting his shots, and, like, the thing with charges, right? Because charges have been getting a bit of a bad rap in this game. The reason is because it's really, like the big problem you have with chargers is you can't really paint with them, right? It's like they're so slow to paint. You need your team to do that for you. The Extermination, these guys are aggressive as hell. Your base is theirs as far as they're concerned. So they're just going to push up into your base and paint everything their color, and then suddenly Echo just looks for the like 2 points on the map that are not his color, and he just gets free shots every time. Like, that's how you use a sniper in this game. And Echo absolutely putting on a clinic. We'll just have to see if he can bring that clinic to Moray Towers.
Yeah, I mean, this is this chart. Oh, he went for the E4K. He went for the E-Leader 4K scope. That is the longest range game, and you already know Moray Towers is a Chargers playground. So seeing these players go in right now, basically, just keep the eye on Echo. Keep an eye on Echo. Because right now, he's going to cut off every single post they're trying to make. He's going, and doesn't the E4K also come with the Rain Cloud, Inkstorm?
It sure does.
It sure, so that means he's going to be able to cover a quick area quickly. And while there's one. Just keep count. Just keep count of his KOs. But right now, there we go, picking somebody else off. And that's another thing. Even if he misses with the shot, he's most likely going to keep himself in a position where he's going to just cover the turf and get the KO next time. All right, trying to fight the baller. Baller going way in on him, missing thanks to the wall. And Echo, being a Charger, still defending himself. That is amazing play. Unfortunately, he does get caught up by someone on Kairos. Not sure the name, but shout out to him.
Yeah, so well, I was going to say this is the hard part for Extermination, but it seems as though Kagu just decided to win the game for himself. The difficult part is going to be if Extermination ever loses control, Kairos is going to have a much easier time of just maintaining control of the high ground. At the same time, though, Kagu doesn't care about such things and is just going to 1v3 if he has to.
Kagu Sharkin, play that music. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Keeping an eye on the opponent, making sure they don't get too close. And if they do, there's a bomb. And actually, we noticed that right now, the Extermination has a firm control, have not lost it yet. Going in against the incoming Ninja and gets the KO on red right there. And right now, they are holding it. 16 seconds left, or 16 seconds left on their clock. Take it down quickly. 4v3 is not looking likely, but a section bomb is going to help. Are they going to get control? No, they do not. A complete Extermination. I actually didn't mean to do that one at time. But for Extermination, that was a blowout for them. And Kairos is now down 2-0. Wow.
Yeah, I gotta say, Extermination is... I think the Charger buff is rather the buff against armor is exactly what Extermination kind of wanted, because in Splatoon 1 they always had that kind of thing where they would run the 3 short range, it would usually be like a Luna T-Tech and a Dynamo, and then they'd run the E-Leader as the backline. So it would always be like they're really, really well practiced at this sort of 3+1 strategy where their 3 has to paint a hell of a lot more. And yes, that they're perfectly fine with that though. They'll just take your base, and again, we see how aggressive they are. They're just not letting Kairos back onto the map at all.
Yeah, they held him down, and we mentioned that earlier when we were talking about it on Moray Towers. If you lose that point, if you lose your own point, it's basically GG, because I mean you have to fight from a high ground, because that second rung compared to the third one is so high, and many shots will not be able to hit their mark quite as accurately as you may want it. But right now, tower control, this is Kairos' standing ground. This is where they have to prove who they are, what they're about. And right now, oh, we have Gamer coming back. And you know what? If anybody on this stage can actually secure it for Kairos, I believe it will be Gamer. Because
I don't think that's Gamer. I think they just put Raziel. They just put Raziel on the heavy.
Yeah, Raziel. Oh, that's unique. I'm sorry, I used to see the heavy, but you're right. Raziel going from the tri-slosher and picking out the heavy. Have to imagine that there might be some coaching from Gamer right there. No. But in all seriousness, we do have Extermination making the first push on the tower, and Echo quickly covering up the area, but gets caught up by someone by Kairos right there, and is now getting shut down. Although the baller is going right in, quickly getting knocked out, and now in a 4v2 scenario, Extermination is pushing this quite quickly. And if they get to the second, what was that?
That was Kagu being German.
But isn't that supposed to be like broken? Like you're not supposed to be able to do that, right?
No, you're supposed to be able to do that. It just sort of looked weird because he's German.
All right, so be it. But in any case, right now they had a good push to get into that second point, and I think they almost got halfway past it. Actually, well, you could tell by the markers up top, the little segments up there, is how far you are through that. But right now, Echo is kind of camping there, holding it down. Look at he has a sloshing machine this time. Interesting. Trades with Jeremy, and right now the tower's in the center. They are vying for position, trying to clean his ink, and it looked like once again Extermination going to be the one to make that push.
Yeah, I think the story of this game is, I think they wanted the heavy, because it has been working for them, absolutely. And on top of that, you know, Port Mackerel was the classic whale map, so it must be a classic Stingray map, right? But the problem is that Gamer is a heavy specialist. He's been playing the heavy and the Hydra and the Mini for pretty much the entire time Splatoon 1 was out, or rather, the entire time they were out in Splatoon. And I know Raziel's quite good, but Gamer is Gamer, right? And I don't think they're quite getting the same level of effect from this heavy splatling that they would if it was Gamer on the in control of it. At the same time, they have managed to keep Extermination at the 55-point mark, and if Extermination does push up, which they look to be doing, we'll have to... Oh, wow, nice one from Redbeck there.
Look at this loadout right there. All that swim speed up and the ink saver sub. I appreciate that. I'm definitely using his curling bombs to full advantage. What I wanted to mention is that about 40 seconds ago, they had a 4v1 scenario. They didn't choose to push the tower, but actually opted to cover the turf. And I mean, you could do that, but I find it really strange that you didn't have one person riding the tower and pushing that forward. But regardless, they are right there. Echo is trying to sit on this tower, but right now, whoever that is on the perk, on their point, they is definitely not allowing them to sit on that tower and get the push that they want. The killer ball goes off from Kaju and is able to put a lot of pressure on it. Will he get that KO? No, he will not. The tower is being pushed out of their base, and now they're looking kind of good. His own killer ball is going to the zone to try and take over the center, and not able to do it. Actually, no, he protected himself. I'm not sure how, but okay. There was somebody who was standing right there. He had to run out of there.
I think that might have just been someone else getting the kill. I'm pretty sure that guy died.
Okay. Oh, there's the blaster hitting around the corner. Actually, it wasn't even the blaster. It was Echo coming through with the sloshing machine, having his partner's back. Currently in a 3v2 scenario. Okay, what is that?
This is a German team, dude. I
have never seen anything like this happen.
There is an ocean between our broadcaster and this team, so there's going to be problems.
I am confused. Okay, we're going to go on beyond it. But still, right now we are 76-55. It is not impossible for Kairos to grab this, but they need to play this properly. Right now, every time I look at the team spread, it's always been in Extermination's favor. Right now, it's actually 4-3. So this is something where they have to start holding this. But instead, it seems like Extermination is sitting pretty and comfortable with just playing the defensive game. So long as the Kairos cannot approach the tower, they will win. And that seems to be the game that they're opting to play.
The one saving grace that Kairos has is that because the push is sort of to a checkpoint, it means that Extermination can't really, at least with the way they've been playing, push any further. Whereas if Kairos gets on the tower and gets like a really solid push going, they can very easily break that checkpoint and push well past that. So if they do manage to get the lead with a really aggressive play, which they might be able to do right now at the 4v2, then it could be it. It could be the game-winning play.
We'll see what happens. The heavy splatling is covering up the main point. 76 points, and they're finally making a push. If they can just get past the tower, and he almost did it. Raziel with the proper play at throwing his heavy splatling over there and not anticipating the Stingray to be coming out. As you said earlier, the killer whale was a prominent weapon, especially on Port Mackerel. The Stingray in his 2.0 version just may be the same thing. And with only 3 seconds left, this is going to be make or break. And unfortunately, he loses the trade. Extermination with the 3-0 wipe over Kairos here in losers finals, moving on to fight Saikai and Grands. Congratulations to them, and well played by Kairos.
Yeah, that ending's got a sting.
I get it. Cause
yeah.
Stingray. Ha.
It's,
See, he has jokes too, guys.
I'm sorry, I can't hold a candle to your puns at the moment, but yeah, that's sort of what I was kind of afraid of when they were pushing that. Like, that was their one opportunity, but at the same time, like, you've got Echo on the enemy team running the sloshing machine. So, yeah, that, like, they had a really good shot though. Like, they did manage to get a push going. It did look, like, about as good as it could have, but at the same time, Extermination, playing their cards right, they had the defense ready to go, and there was just one thing too many, that Stingray at the very end there. But overall, like, you can't take anything away from Kairos. They might have gone out 3-0 here, but they got some sick wins against some sick teams in this tournament, and I think there's nowhere to go but up for them.
Yeah, that Stingray play was very clutch for him. Kairos looked like they were going to push it, and they were definitely primed for it. Again, Ravio had that heavy splat thing scouted out perfectly. He saw him over there. He said, in case somebody comes over there, I'm going to go deep into the base. But the thing is, he backed out quickly enough to so he wasn't, not only, well, he was out of range. He couldn't attack it any other way unless he had that Stingray ready. And that is what really clutched it out for him.
Yeah, and, well, it's finals time. Extermination is... They've made a hell of a lower bracket run, by the way. These guys lost to Ethereal in, I think, the second or third round or something, and they made it all the way. They have taken out some solid competition along the way, too. They've taken out Synergy, they've taken out, I believe it was STD.
No, that was Kairos. Oh, maybe in the bottom bracket, I'm not sure.
Lower bracket, yeah, they took out Ethereal, Rising Moons, STD, Takeover, Hokusai, like, pretty much their entire lower bracket run, which, by the way, most of these are 2-0s. Their entire lower bracket run has been, like, the graveyard of the top seeds. Like, what Kairos was picking up with their, was putting down with their upper bracket run, Extermination was cleaning up with just taking out everyone that Kairos met with. So, and now it's on to Extermination versus Saikai, so that's going to be a pretty sick match, I gotta say.
I am ready to go. Like, I'm telling you guys, I know I keep saying it, but if y'all haven't already, bring your friends in, bring your friends in, bring your cousins, teach your cats, and give them some thumbs, and bring them to teach them to play Splatoon. Bring them here as a lesson, because you know what? You are all about to get schooled in some top level Splatoon 2 play. We are going to get at least 4 games, but you know what? I would not be surprised if we have a reset going up. With the way that Extermination is playing right now, living up to their name in the finest, grandest of fashion, bruh. It is actually that time. If you guys enjoy yourself since Splatoon 2 action, first of all, thank y'all for coming through here. Make sure you guys hit the follow button, show support to InkTV Splat on their Twitter and Twitch, and make sure you check out Squidboards to get information on the latest and greatest in Splatoon news. For commentary for this grand finals, it's going to be myself, PK Sparks, along with FLC, and it is a pleasure, and I'm very happy to be casting this with you guys, and you as well.